Hey everybody, in this lesson we are going to listen to a story from Bella from Australia about kangaroos. And I would like to introduce a good activity to practice listening for specific words, and that is the word gap activity we have in the new section on ELLLO called Talks. So we have the normal, we have the quiz, right? Students can take a quiz, students can also read the text, but more interesting is they can play the audio and try to listen for the missing word. Now, I will play the audio. We'll do this as a group. You can see how it works. So I'm going to go ahead and play the audio, and then I'm going to stop it usually every 2 or 3 squares, and I'm going to fill in the missing words. Let's see if I can remember it, and let's see if you can hear these missing words. So as you can see, this listening activity is only 59 seconds. It's under a minute, so it doesn't take that long. So let's see if we can do this. Here we go.
One night, my mum was driving and I was in the car with her, and we were going back home from another town.
Okay, so one night my mom was, I heard driving, and I was in the car with her, and we were going back. I think maybe she said coming back from another town. Let's go ahead and hear that again. Did she say going back or coming back?
Her, and we were going back home from another town.
Oh, so yeah, because it was going going back home. So going back home from another town.
Where we had to drive on a rural highway. It was quite dark and it was a little bit foggy.
So we had to drive on a rural highway, and it was quite dark, and it was a little bit foggy.
Which was a little bit dangerous, but we had to keep going. And we were going about 100 kilometers an hour.
Oh, which was a little bit dangerous, but we had to keep going, and we were going about 100 kilometers an hour,
Which was the average speed on a highway.
which was the average speed on the highway.
And we ended up coming across something in the middle of the road that was.
And we ended up coming across. So coming across means you notice something, right? I came across something. And we ended up coming across something in the middle of the road
Going up and down, up and down.
that was going up and down, up and down.
And we couldn't really see because it was so foggy.
And we couldn't really see because it was so foggy.
Anyway, she slowed down a little bit and we got closer.
Anyway, she slowed down a little bit and we got closer.
It was a kangaroo hopping in the middle of the road. And it wouldn't get off the road.
It was a kangaroo hopping in the middle of the road, and it wouldn't get off the road.
Just kept hopping and hopping and hopping for about half an hour.
It just kept hopping and hopping and hopping for about half an hour.
We had to follow this kangaroo on the road because it wouldn't get off.
We had to follow this kangaroo. Sorry, I have the wrong word. Follow this kangaroo on the road because it wouldn't get off.
And then finally, after that time, it went left back into this paddock.
And then finally, after that time, it went left back into this paddock. So you can practice listening just for the word, little bit by little bit. You can easily stop the audio, play the audio. And then at the end, you can check. Now you get 3 attempts, which means if you get a word wrong, you can get another chance. So actually, I'm going to do that. I'm going to make sure I have this one wrong. I'm going to type in roads here. So then I'm going to hit submit, and it's going to give me my score and go like, oh, almost, right? So I got 95%. So good way to practice listening, hear those words, and kind of follow along the story, break down the story. And then you can go and change the word back to the correct word. Of course, you can listen again. Then you can hit submit, and then voila, you can get 100%. So you get 3 tries. I designed this activity for the new section that we have called talks, and we have lots of little short talks, each about 1 minute long. We have 5 from each speaker. So for example, if you wanted to listen again, you can do this one about crazy lady or this one about dad's birds. And then if you go to the main lesson page, we have quite a few. So we have 25 to start, but we're going to be adding a lot of these over time. This is a great way to practice listening, actually, is just to do the gap fill. Here it's going to take a second to load. And just play the audio and then see if you can catch the missing word. So that's a new activity and a new lesson type on ELLLO. Great way to practice listening. Thanks, everybody.